My name is Dr. Peter Carter. I'm a medically trained doctor. My background is in environmental health protection policy development. My particular niche, if you will, on global climate change is what I've called total committed global climate change. So what's climate? Well, climate is our life. It's every aspect of our life, all our cultures, all our traditions, everything that we do, particularly in food security and water security. This is climate. Children out in nature, you know how kids are, full of energy, full of life, you know, talking about the future, okay? We gotta give them a future back, is what we have to do. If we continue going the way we're doing, we will not have climate. All we'll have is bad, unpredictable weather. So we need to keep the climate for the kids. Because of this, we are totally dependent on the climate for our food. The United States now understands very strongly that they have a committed climate change food security problem. Both the last year's Federal Department of Agriculture report that had a climate change section in it and most recently released federal climate change assessment, they both came to the same conclusion, which is that food production in the United States until mid-century is going to be mixed. There's going to be ups and downs. But they both say that after mid-century, their crop yields are going to go down. North America and the global north, with the best agricultural regions of the world, because of very poor climate crop models, have assumed that we're going to ride out climate change. That has changed. Okay? They all realize at the highest level that they're not going to be able to ride out climate change. This is a simplified version of the famous burning embers IPCC way of indicating to policymakers what's dangerous. And I've just taken 3 of them from the latest assessment, Unique and Threatened Systems, which is human populations and ecosystems. Extreme weather events, well, we all know what that is, but extreme weather events, they're the most damaging category of climate change impacts to both human population health and security and the security of their crops. So in labor-intensive agriculture, you've got a double whammy here, right? So this is going to be, it's going to be devastating. There's no point in saying it's not going to be. And this is what we have to prepare for. And then we've got planetary tipping points. So you can see how crazy 2 degrees C is, right? Getting up into the orange of planetary tipping points. The one message that I want you to take back is that this time the IPCC has made it very clear what we have to do. The best case IPCC scenario, which is called RCP 2.6, which is representative concentration pathway, and the 2.6 is just the heat that we add to the climate system. This is the only way that we can avoid 2 degrees C. The other special thing about RCP 2.6 is it doesn't keep going up. All the other scenarios, all the other mixtures of population and energies, they all keep going up after 2100. We know what we have to do now, so how do we do it? This is the emissions. So this is the projection of emissions by the IPCC. This is in the synthesis report, and what it tells us is this. It's the purple line on the bottom. This one happens to be one for fossil fuels in industry, but there are various representations, and they're all much the same. We have to plateau immediately, okay? And then at 2020 at the latest, this is the IPCC saying this, hundreds and hundreds of scientists across the world, every single government has agreed to this, okay? Emissions come down from 2020. This is going to happen, because it must. Not only that, though, it comes down very sharply. By 2040, the emissions, carbon dioxide, fossil fuel industrial emissions, they've reduced by about 50%. This is big. This is very, very big. Just a few years ago, people would have looked at this and listened to me and said, "You're nuts." It's not nuts anymore. It's doable. We know it's doable economically because we've had some new economic reports out. that says, no, switching to a zero-carbon economy will grow the economy and increase jobs. So they finally got that right. Now, the yellow thing actually in the middle there is rather interesting. That's the scenario for a rapid increase in energy intensity. Before we had the transformation of energy, everybody was talking at us about improving energy intensity. But now the IPCC shows that this is their best case scenario for improving energy intensity. Can't work. We have to replace all fossil fuel energy. The EU leading the way still, and the EU have met already and embedded this. So the EU go to Lima with a better position already than the IPCC. Even RCP 2.6, which replaces all fossil fuel energy, it has to do some negative energy. Now, the amount of negative energy here is not necessarily geoengineering. We can do biochar, we can stop deforestation, we can replace steel and concrete with wood, engineered wood. See all this stuff going up there? Doesn't have to be built with steel and concrete. You know, I mean, if you want to destroy the planet, this is the best building there is, you know, steel and concrete. No, we can build it with engineered wood because we have that now. So what's the big deal about that? Well, the big deal about that is that we've stopped a huge source of emissions, which is steel and concrete, because concrete is burning limestone. You know the beautiful buildings you have here in Toronto, great big limestone blocks? You know what we do with them now? We crush them up and we burn them and make concrete, which liberates carbon dioxide. You know, in a lot of things where we're not very smart. This is big news. To me, this makes my heart just feel so good. This is the Climate Action Network International. This is 900 organizations around the world. So what are they calling for? They're calling for a 100% renewable energy of fossil fuel energy by 2050. That is most important because our political idiots, okay, say that we don't have to worry, we'll burn bioenergy and we'll capture the carbon dioxide and we'll sequester it in the ground, and that'll be negative. That's insane. Now look at this. Emissions must decline from 2015. So you see, somebody's told them, we ain't going to compromise on the feasibility anymore. Political feasibility, economic feasibility, no. We're going to say what the science is. And the science is 2015. So right on, Climate Action Network and the 1.5 degree C limit. I want us to get to work and get this out there and out there and out there and out there and out there. 900 organizations around the world. Can we make something happen in Lima in December? You better believe we can. Thank you.